Hello, please, can you hear me? Okay, right. So I think I've. Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Great.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes,
thanks.
please.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
right.
Yes,
So
please.
I'm excited to have all of you online. So I have Robert, I have Alexander, I have Brianna, I have Efia Brago, I have Anaya, I have Andy, I have Amy, I have Araba, I have Daniel, I have Edna, I have Gina, I have Jerry, I have Mercy, I have Nancy, I have Oye, I have Peniel. There is someone with a user. I have Rufai, and then I have Elizabeth. All right, so thank you all for joining us this afternoon. My assignment this afternoon is simple. I would want to give you a brief of what we do here at GH Addition. So let me share my screen so that at least you can follow my discussion. If you have any challenge, you can send a message. I might not be prompt in responding, but at least I can manage that alongside. So kindly do me that favor. Unfortunately, one or two are struggling to log in. So once in a while, I might pause for a second just to assist them to log in. But please bear with us on that. So I share this. Please, can you see my screen? So I've muted all. That is why you can't have access. But let me just. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So for the next 20 minutes, I'll be talking. I'll plead that if you have anything you want to ask, you kindly write it down so that when I'm done, then we can comfortably do a discussion. So that's how it's going to be. So all right. So let me give you a brief history of how we came up with GH Addition. Way back in 2019, 2018, we were running programs for BC candidates. We're running pre-SHS lessons. We're running remedial lessons. That started in 2009. So in 2018-19, we had thought of expanding so that other students who are not close to our location, we are in Tema, can have access to our lessons. But we didn't take action. Then fast forward in 2020, when COVID came, we realized that it was the best time to roll out. So in 2020, we rolled out our first product, and it was simply BC online mocks for BC candidates. Some of you might be younger, but your parents know, so that students who were then who were in final year had to be at home because of the BC that was on hold. Students couldn't go for classes because of COVID, so they had to be home. And because of that, we realize that students will need assistance with the let me mute my other guys. Children will need assistance with the a second, because this one would assistance with preparing for BEC. So we started the lessons for the mock examinations for students. Now in 2021, so in 2020, the mocks were typically objective schedule. In 2021, then we brought in the written portion. Then parents were asking for lessons. So then in 2022, we rolled out lessons in math and science. Then in 2023, we added the other subjects, still for BEC candidates, math and science, English and social studies. Then in this year, still parents in first year, second year, were all asking for lessons. So then we rolled on JHS 1 and JHS 2 students, in addition to our regular JHS 3 students. So as you are aware, we have lessons for JHS 1, lessons for JHS 2, and then lessons for JHS 3. So in a nutshell, we've been running since 2020. That is our online model. However, for lessons, we've been doing this since 2009. Then in 2020, we began the online lessons. So that's in brief how we came up with the whole project. Now let me give you the structure of what we do. Now, we organize our lessons in what we call a trimester. So every year there are 3 trimesters. In each of these trimesters, we have 12 weeks of lessons. We have 12 weeks of lessons. That means if it is 12 weeks, then it means there are 3 months in here. Now we are saying 12 weeks because we might start in the middle of a month, and that would enter into the other month before it will be 4 weeks to make up for a month. So typically we have 12 weeks, which adds up to 3 months. So for JHS 1 and JHS 2, we have 3 trimesters per year. That is 12-week sessions times 3 in each year. And that will give you 36 weeks in a year of lessons. Now, in between each of these trimesters, we do have breaks. We do have breaks. So we have about 2 to 4 weeks break, depending on the season. If it's Xmas, then you know there's going to be a longer break. But it's a normal year break, then you will be between 2 and 3 year. Sorry, between 2 and 3 weeks of break. However, for BEC candidates, that one, when we start, the breaks are just short, like a week. Then we continue, simply because the exams is drawing near and we will need to finish some content that we'd have to do. So for BEC candidates, so I say BEC candidates because I know some of you are informed too, who are also writing. I've actually have had parents whose words were in Form 1 who wrote with us. At least I can count about 3 Form 1s who have written with us. So once you are writing this year, or let me say next year, then it means we'll call you a BEC candidate. Now for such students, although there's a JHS 1 class and then there's a JHS 2 class, they join in the BEC class. So they will be running 8 months continuous with little 1 week breaks within. But typically it's an 8-month period. Or better still, as we said, we do not know exactly when the BEC will be done. So it's either 8 months or until the BEC is written. So JHS 1, JHS 2, 12-week period for a trimester, and then there will be 3 trimesters in a 12-month year. However, BEC candidates will be doing 8 months or until BEC ends. So that's how the sessions run for either JHS 1 or 2 or BEC candidates. So I said you can put down your questions. When I'm done, then you would come up with your questions. Now let's talk about the cost. We've shared that already with you, but just for a review, we'll put that out. Now, so what I've spoken about is on the regular lessons that we do. All right. So now let me talk about cost. So with respect to cost, there are 3 products that we have. We have the lessons, which I just finished talking about or gave you a brief of the durations. We have mock examinations and we have topical tests. Now, to get on board, there's a registration fee, which all those I'm talking to would have paid to join. So that's 50 cedis. Now, for JHS 1 and JHS 2, the fees for the lessons is 200 cedis per month, or for every 4 weeks. It's 200 cedis for every 4 weeks. So in the trimester, you'd have 3 months or 4 weeks. So you pay 200 cedis for each month. Now, if you'd want to make a payment for the whole trimester, then it is 200 cedis times 3. That is 600 cedis. Now, to motivate more people to pay outright, we give a discount of 100 cedis. So instead of paying 200 times 3, that is 600 cedis, you pay a flat rate of 500 cedis, and it takes care of the whole trimester. So you can look at your payment and your ability to pay. You can choose to pay 200 cedis a month or pay 500 cedis for the trimester. So you see that you are going for 600 cedis in 3 installments or 500 cedis as 1 installment. Then for the BEC candidates, they are paying 250 cedis per month or for every 4 weeks. Now let me differentiate here. So JHS 1 and 2 do 3 lessons. The 3 lessons is in math, science, and English. And then the BEC candidates or the BEC clinic, they do 4 subjects: math, science, English, plus social studies. So that's the variation. Now for the BEC mocks, for each mock you pay 75 cedis. Now in the 75 cedis, it covers all the 9 subjects, excluding Ghanaian language and then Arabic. The 9 subjects includes French and all the other subjects that you do in school. So for each mock, you do 9 subjects. And then for these 9 subjects, the 75 cedis covers that. Now for this year, we would have 5 mocks starting in December. The date for the other mocks, will bring them out once the government schedule for the BEC comes out. We would give you the time for the other, the date for the other mocks. But for now, December is the first mock. Now, the additional product which I have not spoken about is the topical tests. The topical tests. Now, this is how the topical test works. So for each subject, we have broken up the curriculum or the syllabus into 8 areas. Let me take math, for example, because I teach maths. So in maths, the current curriculum has pushed them into 4 areas. They have numbers, they have algebra, they have data. Now, if you pick, for example, numbers, we are doing 2 assessments in that. If you pick data, if you pick data, we have 2 assessments in that. If you pick geometry, we have 2 assessments in it. And then if you pick algebra, we have 2 assessments. Hope I've mentioned all. Numbers, algebra, data, and geometry. These are 4 key areas in maths. Now, in these 4 areas, we have 2 tests under each, making 8. For example, if we take numbers, we'll do 2 assessments in numbers. If we take algebra, we'll do 2 assessments in algebra. So in all, for maths, you would have 8 assessments or 8 tests in maths. If we pick English too, the same thing would happen. There are 8 different tests under 8 different topics in English. Same for science and the rest. So the topical test would cover 9 subjects. And under these, under each subject, we do 8 tests. Now, how different is the topical test from the mock? 1, the topical tests are done under specific topics. Secondly, the mode of assessment is a little different from the mocks. If I take maths and I'm doing numbers, I have portions where we have multiple choice or objectives, objectives. So you select the answers. There are portions where you would fill in the space with the answer. So for example, how many books has Kweku? If the answer is 5, we write the number 5 there. In that case, you don't have the answer for you to just click, so that if you don't even know, you will guess and click. No, you would have to fill in the correct answer in the given space. So that's how different this one is from the regular mocks. Now, for the mocks, and even for our regular assignments, this is what happens. If it is objectives, you will click the answers on the application. I'll come to that. If it is theory or written, you write on a sheet of paper, you would take a snapshot, then you upload on the system. Now that might sound a little unclear. So when we are done, we will send you the link or the video that would show you how you would upload such answers. Is that okay? All right. So we have lessons, we have the mock examinations, and we have the topical test. Now, I'm sure you might be asking about assessments for the lessons, and I'll talk about that. Now, talking about payments, all payments have to be done before the period. For example, next Saturday, we have a lesson. So, and that is the first lesson. So if you are taking part in the lesson, then you should have paid your 200. Or if you are in a BC candidate, then you should have paid your 250. However, if you want to pay outright for GHS 1 and GHS 2, 200 times 3 is 600, but I'll give you a discount of 100 cedis. So you should pay your 500 outright. Then we know you are doing a one-time installment. I missed talking about the BC candidates. So for the BC candidates, for every 4 weeks, you are paying 250. If you want to pay in block, 250 times 8 gives you 2,000. Now 2,000 is that huge. If you want to pay for 4 sessions or 3, let me take 3 sessions. 3 sessions is 250 times 3. That is 750. Now the 750, we will give you 10% discount. However, 10% discount on 750 is a reduction of 75 cedis, but would let you pay 650 instead of 750. It's a little more than 10%. So generally, we give a 10% discount for the BEC clinic. If you want to pay from 3 upwards, I'll give you the schedule for the payment. That is to the BEC class or the BEC page. But you get a discount if you are paying more than 3 months payments. You have 8 months. If you are paying more than 3 months, we'll give you a 10% discount or more to that. So payments have to be made before you join a session. For example, you have paid for the first month. If the second month is starting and you have not paid, unfortunately, you can't join because you wouldn't have paid by then. All right. Now, I've talked about bits of this earlier, but let me zoom in. So let me talk about the nature of lessons. So for example, this lesson or this interaction is a live session. So you can ask questions. And that is how our live Zoom lessons are. So whilst I'm talking, sir, please, I don't understand this. I pause, I help you out, and then we continue. Now, whilst we are also doing this one, we are also recording alongside because some couldn't join. We have about 30, oh wow, 35, great. Because there are 38 of us on the platform. Okay, but we are still recording. Just in case you didn't hear something clear, we will still share the link so that you can go over. The same way, lessons would be recorded. However, we do not want to encourage students leaving lessons down and then not watching it. So although the lesson is recorded, by midnight of the same day, the lesson will not be available. Except if parents call and give us a reason why the awards can't take part, then we'll give them access. But we don't want situations where students will leave lessons down like 1 week and they have not watched. That temptation is there. So for example, if today is maths and I'm teaching and I end at 5, by say 6 p.m., I would have uploaded it. You have 6 p.m. to 6 midnight to have watched the lesson. After 12 midnight, it will not be available any longer. So that students will be compelled to watch them. In cases where parents tell us that, oh, my ward is sick, then we would have to find a way of getting you to watch it. That aside, lessons would have to be viewed the same day, but not left for it to stay for like a week without students watching, because we don't want to encourage that. So these are for the live lessons. In addition, we have pre-recorded lessons. So for the pre-recorded lessons, the lecturer or the tutor would have recorded the lesson, then would give you access to the link. Now, having access to the link means that you would be able to watch the video within a speculated period. Now, if we share the link by midnight, the link will not work. So you should, although it's a pre-recorded lesson, you should have taken it there and then. On the other hand, after each pre-recorded lesson, because we would want students to actively do the learning, you have a short assessment. So once you are done, you have to log in and go and answer those questions. So that is how we make the pre-recorded lessons an active one. Now, for assessments, we have a V class that we use. So we'll give each student a username and a password so that you can log into the site. When I'm done, I'll demonstrate that to you. Now, in addition, I'm sure your parents might have told you that tomorrow we'll do a small assessment to check what you understand and what you don't understand. And that will require the username and then the password. So by dawn, we would have sent all usernames and passwords for each of our students so that you can take tomorrow's lesson. Oh, okay, so someone has sent me a message. Sorry, I just saw it. Okay, so the interaction is for JHS 1, JHS 2, and JHS 3. Now, the lessons are for JHS 1 and 2. The mocks are for JHS 3. Okay, so someone is asking me a question about a topical test. So let me go over again on the topical test. Sorry, I am interrupting what I was doing. So the topical test, we have splitted the syllabus for each subject into 8 areas. So the assessment is based on the topic that the student is aware. In a normal mock examination, you don't know where the question is coming from. It comes from any topic. But for the topical test, you know the topic you are going to assess yourself on, and then the assessment is done. Great, thanks for that. And sorry, I didn't answer your question when you asked. All right, so the V class will give you access to answer mock examinations. It will give you access to answer your topical test. It will give you access to answer your class assessments. So if you're in JSS 1 and JSS 2, there are assessments. You need your V class to do that. If you are in JHS 3 doing mocks, doing topical test 2, you also need the V class. Okay. Now, let me talk about the assessments. So there are charts. Let me be proactive. Okay, so someone is asking if a Form 2 can answer the mock questions. Perfectly so. Perfectly so. A Form 2 who wants to answer the mock is allowed to. Once you are willing to do your side of it, that is the payment, would also give you access. Yes, so please, Form 2s can equally do that. Okay, so you can still write your questions down so that when I'm done, I would answer that. Okay, so for every student, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, there are times teachers will bring assignments, and those assignments are to be answered before Friday and submitted. Before Friday, you should have done that. So please bear that in mind. Any assignment that you are given by Friday, you should have submitted that. Now, the assignments are determined by the teachers as and when they would want a reading assignment or they would want one that you are supposed to submit. That is that there. Then, for every student, at the end of a month or the month, there is an exam that you will do, still on the V class. So at the end of the month or every 4 weeks, you will do a monthly exam. It can be as simple as a 30 minutes assessment, but for every month, you would have an assessment to do. Okay, so you can still send your questions to the chat. I may not answer immediately, but once you have sent it, it saves you from writing it. So you can still send them alongside. So every month, you do an assessment, or let me say every 4 weeks, you do an assessment. Then at the end of the trimester, you will do an assessment. Now, the assessment is like what you do in your schools. You will do an objective section. You will do a written or a theory section. And then you would submit. These are timed. Now, parents who have time and who feel that there's AI, so their kids are all doing AI for us, and who feel that the awards might be tempted to use AI to answer, you would have to do the assessment, or they would have to do the assessment when you are home. So we give a flexible submission period for the assessment. So for example, if you know you are home on Sunday or Saturday, then that is when your ward will do the assessment. Or if you are available in the evening, 8 p.m., it's a 2-hour paper. You are sitting there, maybe doing something, and then your child is doing the assessment, so that at least you monitor them. But if you are so sure your child will not use AI to answer, fine, they can do it at their own time or within the period. So at the end of every trimester, you do an assessment. Now for BC candidates, like I've told you already, you would be doing mocks, and there are 5 mocks this year. The first one starting in December. And then the topical test, which I explained earlier, are also grouped into topics. So you are also able to assess yourself under various topics, and the topics are known. So you can relax, wait. When you have gone to study that topic, then you come and assess yourself on that. It is not timed. So as and when you are ready, then you would go. So that one will be available from December, just like the mocks. From December, the topical test would be available. So from December, you can begin doing your assessments. All right. Now let me go to mode of communication. Mode of communication. Let me sip little water, please. Okay, thank you. So like we have done, the current page is a page with students from Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3. After this session, we will then move you to your respective class pages. We'll move you to your respective class pages. So that's how it's going to be. So our mode of communication would be through our WhatsApp class page. Now we are aware that some students don't use phones. And the reason is that some of you have abused your phones. So your parents have taken the phones from you. Some also don't have phones. That is fine. But the WhatsApp class page is where I would put, let me say, much of the information. So we'll try and also load same on the V class, so that if it's a question that has been loaded on your WhatsApp page, same thing has been loaded on the V class. As for the V class, you don't need a phone to access. If you have a computer without WhatsApp, you can access. So without WhatsApp, you will still have access to some of the information that your teachers share. But the WhatsApps are closed because they are on phones. So most often, much of the information goes to the WhatsApp pages. There are times that we might upload something on an email. For example, this video, when we are done, might be a huge video that cannot come through your WhatsApp. So we can put it through your Gmail so that you'll be able to have access. But mostly we upload them to our YouTube page and then we'll give you the link. But there are certain things that we'll share via email messaging. There are times that we put in phone calls. So you sometimes see us calling you because there's something urgent that needs to be discussed. For example, whilst we are talking, some calls are coming through. Administrator is not available, so I'd have to pick those calls. So phone calls are also used to communicate to our students. Great. Question time. So if you have a question, you will just have to put up your hand and then we would assist you. Alternatively, you can send it through the chat. That is also equally okay. So let me first deal with questions that I have in the chats so that I would be able to get through. Okay, so please, are the topical tests compulsory? Unfortunately, no. So for the BC candidates, the 3 products, you can choose any. You can choose to do just the mocks, period. You don't do lessons. You can choose to do just the lessons, period. You don't do mocks. You can choose to do topical tests, no lessons, no mocks. So you can choose any of the 3. None is connected to the other. Okay, when will lessons begin? Please, today's week, 3 o'clock sharp, lessons would begin. Are JHS 1 students going to do topical test? No, please. But if you are interested, it is available for JHS 1, JHS 2, and then JHS 3 students. But the content, so let me talk about the topical test. For example, if I take algebra, a portion of algebra is taught in JHS 1. A portion is taught in JHS 2. A portion is taught in JHS 3. Per experience, there are some topics that feed into others. So for example, if I'm teaching a student algebra, I expect that he should understand numbers to the extent of even exponents or powers, which is a topic that the person is going to do in Form 2. But we don't go that way. We do the topics with foundations in mind. So, for example, you see that JHS 1 students are doing numbers. JHS 2 students are concentrating on algebra. When you have these two, if you are given a topic in data in Form 3, you don't have a problem. If you are given a topic in geometry in Form 3, you don't have a problem. So we believe in building the foundations and then carrying on from there. So even with the Form 3s, we try to do a review of their numbers, a review of their algebra before we take off. So that when I start teaching you geometry, and then I'm giving a word problem, and in the geometry there's an equation, you understand algebra. So I don't have to go and struggle explaining it to you again, because I've given you the foundations. So for us, our concept is to treat foundations. Once we deal with foundations, every other thing flows okay. All right, so JHS 1 might not easily run through topical test, because if I'm doing a topical test on algebra, it is Form 1 algebra plus Form 2 algebra plus Form 3 algebra, which is in that topical test. But you can still try your kit on it. The fact is, the topical test, I wouldn't want to say it is cheap, but you pay 250 cedis, and that is all. For the 250 cedis, for each subject, you have 8 tests, and there are 9 subjects. So 9, 8, 72. So 72 tests for 250. So you can still test the pulse or your ability, the ability of your ward by registering him or her in Form 1 or Form 2 for topical test. All right. So, okay, so someone is asking if you can get the right app to go over. So if it is about this orientation, yes, the audio is available. If it's about the PowerPoint that I shared, yes, I will still share that one too on the various platforms so that you can get access to. Okay. Please, can a Form 2 student join the BEC class? Yes. So a Form 2 student can join the BEC class, yes. But we'll treat you like a Form 3 student. So you should be ready to be treated like a Form 3 student. Okay, so if you are in Form 2 and wish to write a BEC next year, put on the WhatsApp page. So you'll be on the BEC platform. So you'll be on the Form 3 platform. Yes. Okay, please, are all classes taught together or they are separated? They are separated. So there's a math teacher for Form 1. There's a math teacher, a different math teacher for Form 2. There's a different math teacher for Form 3. The same thing. Different math teacher, science teacher, Form 1. Different science teacher, Form 2, different science teacher, Form 3. Sometimes we swap and I go and teach a topic in a different class, but there are 3 different classes for the students. Okay, so I've dealt with questions on this chart. Let me check the other one. A moment, please. So I have 5 new charts here. Okay. Okay, right. So I think I've sorted out. Great. So let me still allow for questions through the audio, so that those who would want to ask questions via audio can do that. So you would have to just put up your hand. I would unmute you, and then we are good to go. So it can be a student, it can be a parent. All are allowed. So I have a Fia Bragwe, Fia Sewa, Akosia, Anaya, Amy, Araba, Brian. I have Brian, and I have Brianna. Good. Wow. Cephas, Daisy, Daniel. Okay, so Daniel Omani, Daniel Awendo, Daniel in Cancer, 3 Daniels. I have Devin, I have Duchess, I have Edna. I have Jenna, but I know it's the mom's name. I have Glennis, I have Jed. Okay, my twin friends, Jed and Janice. I have Jeremy, I have Mercy. I have Mercy, I have Nana Kweku, I have Nancy, I have Peniel. So I like the name Peniel because we run another institution at Peniel College that is for diploma. I have Robert, I have Sedem, I have Tunes. Is that a name? Tunes. It's unfamiliar, sorry. I have Wilda Jima, I have Rofai, I have Yvonne, I have Ifia Sewa. All right. Okay, so please, if you want to ask a question, kindly put up your hand. Let's be a little interactive so that we get to know each other. If you want to ask a question, kindly put up your hand. You can unmute, but I would also help unmute you, and then we go. Okay, so someone is asking, will lessons begin today? No, please. Today is just the orientation, and then tomorrow is an assessment. So tomorrow, all of you would have to log in and then do the assessments. I can see my students don't want to ask any questions. Say fast. Hello, say fast. Okay, so say fast, you can unmute. Hello, say fast. Okay, I already have hands up, so I will not bother say fast. All right, so I have user, but then I was told the name of the user. I didn't code that. So you can unmute and then talk. Hello.
Hello.
Great. Sorry, I saw the name in the chat, but I didn't pick it.
No problem.
Thank you.
She's logging on with my laptop. That's why the name
okay,
is
right.
user.
Okay, is user, right? That's fine.
She's Anaya.
Anaya, okay, good. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Please, I was asking if a student wants to write, let's say the student is in Form 2.
Okay.
Do you register such children?
Oh, okay. Okay, right.
Like you personally as
Okay. So unfortunately, no, we do not have access to register students. But then just in case you need assistance and you are in Accra, we can give you some people, some schools who are able to do that for students. So you can get in touch in the background and I would assist you. Please, is it clear? Okay, right. So Peniel. Hello, Peniel. Hello, Peniel. Okay, so someone is asking me when would assessment begin? So there's an assessment tomorrow, but that assessment is just to check our student skill level. It is not a test. So someone coming to JHS1, we are just getting to understand how well he or she understood her class's knowledge. Someone also in JHS2 class, we are testing how well he or she understood the JHS1 knowledge. Then the BC candidates too, we are checking how well they understood their Form 2 lessons. So it's just a simple assessment to check our students' ability. Okay, right. Peniel, please, your hand is up. You can talk. Hello, Peniel. Okay, Peniel is not talking. Daisy. Hello, Daisy. Please unmute yourself. Hello, Daisy. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay, right. If you are struggling to talk, you can still send a message. All right, Glennis, Milku. Oh, sorry, I have 9 chats and I have not checked. Okay, so someone saying he or she, please set them, joined late. Okay, great. So please, we are recording. I will make the link available on the platform. Okay, so lessons for the timetable. Yes, please. There's a timetable for lessons for Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So we'll share that too with you. Great. Any questions, please? Penny, your hand is up and your microphone is on, but I'm not hearing you. Hello, Glennis.
Yes, and
Great.
please will a time duration be given for the assessment tomorrow?
Okay, good. So the assessments would be available from 3 to 12 midnight or 11 midnight. So anytime within that period, you can do it. But once you log in, you'd have to start. So if it is 30 minutes and you log in, you have to immediately start.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank
So
you.
yes, there's a fixed time for that. But you can do it all day. We just open it up, making it flexible. Thanks, Glennis.
Thanks.
Great. Any other questions? So Peniel, I'm not hearing, so you can type your question. Araba. Sister Araba. Sister Araba, please unmute yourself. Okay. My students don't want to talk, so I would not bother them. All right. So we are available for any questions after this session. If you have any question that probably you can't ask on the platform, you can, or through the Zoom, you can just hit us up and then we'll assist you with your question. Brianna, are you asking a question?
No, please.
Okay. So I think I'm just assuming the parent is calling via WhatsApp. So let me pick the details from that. Maybe it's a question that's. Yeah, hello. 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 Okay, right. So the person didn't talk either. Okay. So we'll pause here. By dawn, your VA class access would be given. And then we have a short video that shows you how to use the VA class. That would also be available. So you watch the video and then it shows you how to log in. But it is that simple. Let me just briefly demonstrate that with you so that you'll be able to log in. So let me just see where the interface is, and then I would assist you. So I go here, share. It's not here. So this, okay, right. So leave page. So yes, I'm just taking you through how the login is since. So this is it. So for example, if this is your username, you type it in. We usually use your first names as your username. Then we'll give you a password, which is also unique to you. Then you type it in. Hello, please, can you? Oh, sorry. So you can't see my screen. I'm not sharing. Okay, so let me share. Hello, please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Is that Glennis?
Yes, please.
Great. What can you see?
I can see the GH Adesua online school.
Good. So the first,
With
so you see the username, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so if your username is say, let me try on 2 4 4 9 6 3 4. So then you type it in. So maybe it is Glennis, you type it in. Then your password.
Okay.
And you type your password and then you click log in. Okay, then you click log in. Now, for you, you will not have access to all these. I have access because I have other students and other clients. So, for example, let me go to, let's take say, so you would see Jhs Clinic Form 1. Is that okay? but there's a
Yes.
login for a mock. So for example, you want to do science. So you click on the science objectives. Now, okay, so this one, no more attempts allowed. Let me go back to something that I can handle. I'm coming. So say English. Hope this one is okay. So I want to do English. So there's attempt quiz. Glenn, can you see attempt quiz?
Yes, please.
So once you click on attempt quiz, so please read what is here.
The quiz has a time limit of 35 minutes. Time will count down from the moment you start your attempt and you must submit before it expires.
Okay.
Are you sure that you wish to start now?
So do you want to start now? If it is yes, start attempt. Once you click start attempt, it means that the exam is running. So Glennis, let me play around with you. Read the first question.
Their friends dash in class.
Okay, let's read the heading.
Their friends. From the list of words lettered A to D, choose the word that is most appropriately fills the gap
in the
sentence.
Good. So their friends dash in class. Is it their friends sleep, slips, sleeps, or jumps?
Sleep.
Their friends sleep. So subject verb agreement, right?
Yes, please.
If it were their friend, then it would be sleeps. Great. So then you just click on the answer sleep. Okay?
Yes.
Now on the left side, do you see the time reading?
Yes, please.
Good. So the time is reading. So whilst you are answering, you should be watching the time. So then you go to number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. When you are done, you click next page. Then it will move you to the next set of questions. So you see that's number 6.
Yes.
Good. So that's how the V class system works. That's how it works. Okay. So I've seen some more questions. Let me attempt to answer them. Let me attempt to answer them. Okay. Okay, someone is trying to unmute, but unsuccessful, sorry. Okay, so good. If you have a question in maths, can it be sent through the chat? Now the chat is, so when I'm teaching maths, I'll put a question on the board. So let me try something. Okay, so for example, this is maths. So the question is 2x plus 5 is equal to 15. So let's try to solve this. So 2x is equal to 15 minus 5. So whatever I'm writing, you see it. 2x is equal to what? 10.
5. Yes.
15 minus 5 is 10. So 2x is equal to 10. So if you want to let x stand alone, you divide by what?
2.
2 here and 2 there. So 2 into 10, 5. So x is equal to 5. So someone wants to ask a question, but say, why is it not 10? You just put on your microphone and then you talk. But if I give this question and I want all of you to answer, I would ask you to send your answer through the chat. So the chat that you are using to ask the question, you will send your answer. X is equal to 5, x is equal to 8, x is equal to 3. But you are going to send it directly to me, the teacher, not to the class page. There's a way to do it, and next week I will just show you. Is that okay? So I think I've answered that question. Yeah. If it is maths, you can ask the question through the chat, or you can put on your microphone, and then you ask the question. Do the test have a pass mark? Yes and no. Yes, because we are expecting that our students should be getting 70% minimum. Then it means they are answering that. No, because without the pass mark, we still help you through to build yourself up. Then are past questions available? So for the Form 3s, we have some past questions uploaded and we'll give you free access to answer them. So it's available, but they are not printable versions. If you want past questions that you can print, then you might have to buy one of these books that has past questions. Oh, Smile, you wanted me to start the question again. Smile, don't worry, okay? This was just a demonstration. When we get to the regular class, we will give you all the time to go over lessons that you would understand. So this was just a trial. Okay, great. I am assuming there are no more questions. I'm assuming there are no more questions. Okay, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Daniel Window. Hello, Daniel. Please, your hand is up.
Yes, sir.
Great. Your question, please.
Please, sir. Will we start lessons today?
Okay, so lessons will start next week, Saturday.
He said, why?
Because today is an orientation and you need to understand exactly what we are about to do.
Why?
Oh, you don't want to understand what we are about to do, then we just start.
Yes, sir.
No, we don't believe in that, okay?
Okay,
And then
sir.
tomorrow there will be an assessment. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Great. So tomorrow, make sure you get 100%, okay?
Okay, sir.
Good. Thank you very much. Hello, Mercy. Hello, Mercy. Daniel is poised for action. Don't worry. Okay, Mercy, please.
So please, I want to find out. So on each day, or hello.
Yes, I'm
Can
here.
you hear me?
Yes, please.
Please, I want to find out how long does a lesson last?
Lesson, very, very important. Okay, so please, for math and science, it goes for 2 hours. And then for English and social studies, it goes for 1 hour and a half. So for example, on Saturdays, Form 3s do maths and social studies. So from 3 to 5 is maths. From 5 to 6:30 is social studies. Form 1 and Form 2 do science on Saturday. So from 3 to 5 is science.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so if your words are 2, is there any discount?
Yes, there's a discount.
Mm.
Yes, so for
Okay.
example, if you have 2 words in Form 1 and 2, it is paying 200.
No, in this case, my case is 3 and 2.
3 and 2, okay.
Yeah.
Usually it's a 10% discount, but I would work it out for you.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right.
So once you have more than 1 kid or child, there's a discount. That's a very good question.
Okay.
Okay, right.
All right. Thank you so much.
A pleasure, mommy. If you have a please unmute yourself. Your hand is up. Oh, okay. If yes, hand is down. Okay. Hello, Jed. Hello, Jed. Jed, it looks like your microphone. Jed, please unmute yourself.
Sir, please, will we be having lessons on Sunday?
Yes, please. So from today, you are in Form 3, right?
Yes, please.
Good. So from today till you write BEC, Saturday 3 to 6:30, Sunday 3 to 6:30.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. So let's get ourselves prepared for that.
Sir, please, will Sundays have the orientation?
Oh no. So this is the only orientation you would have. Okay. So tomorrow is an assessment to test your skill level. Then next week, Saturday, full lessons begin.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
A pleasure. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Daniel, your hand is up, or is it?
Lisa, I want you to solve the question for me.
Oh, no, not now, please. So send me
Yes,
the
sir.
question. No, don't worry. I'm ready to help you anytime. So send me the question through WhatsApp. Is that okay?
Okay.
When we are done with this session, I'm fully available for Daniel. Hey, Daniel, you are poised for action, pal. I like that. Hello,
Yes,
Daniel.
sir.
Good. Daniel. Hello, Peniel. Please unmute yourself. Hello, Peniel. Hello, Peniel. Okay, right. So we'll bring our orientation and discussions to a close now. I'm very grateful for all of you joining. It's been very good having you on board. And we promise you that your time with us will not be in vain. So let me just brag a little bit. So we've been successful in training Form 1 students to write BEC, and they've gone to SHS. I don't know how they got to register, but my task was to help them write BEC. So we have one at Akosombo International, we have one at Wesley Girls, then another at Infantepim, Form 1 students. We also have Form 2 students who wrote the BEC and are in very good schools. We have a B Girls, we have, I think one is in Infantepim, is it Accra Girls? Yes. Now for our Form 3s, we would also boast that about 90% of our students get their first choice schools. 90% of them get their first choice schools. So we've been doing this, your batch is the 3rd year for the lessons, but for the mocks, like I said, we've been running since 2020. So you are at the right place. If as we go along, there are any suggestions, there are any challenges, you are free to get in touch with us and then we would assist you. All right. So thank you very much for your time. Thanks so much for joining in and see you tomorrow for the assessment. God bless you for your time. Bye-bye. Okay, so there are some questions. Which subject? So we have all the 3 subjects for tomorrow. Math, Science, English for tomorrow. 30 minutes each. There's a timetable for all classes too. All right, thank you very much. Oh, so Reginald, you were trying to unmute. Very, very sorry. We'll show you all that in the subsequent meetings. So that is that. Kindly send me messages through WhatsApp and I'll be kind to answer them. Thanks so much. Glynis, is there another question?